You're welcome to start in any orientation that works for you. Once I start guiding, we're going to be in a seat. But if you want to start on your back for a few minutes while I talk about the heart space, you can do that. You can start in a seat or start on your back. But I think we've been working in the area of the heart space in the last couple weeks. And it's just a reminder that when we talk about the heart space, the physiological heart space, the emotional heart space, we're talking about not just the front of the body, but the back of the body, the sides of the body. So our physiological heart is in the back of the body as well as the front of the body. And we talk a lot about opening the heart, but we also need to have good boundaries with our heart. You know, if you've ever just thrown your heart out there, or you're the kind of person maybe who just risks your heart really easily, you know that there could be some suffering with that. So we have boundaries around the heart, and we want a heart that's expansive. We want a heart that's receptive. And so we'll work with a lot of different kind of movement today. It's a little departure from our usual start on the back. And I just want to read one line from, it's my favorite line from an E. E. Cummings poem. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. Once we have a heart connection, I used to say that to my son all the time, you know, I would be separated and be like, no, our hearts are always sort of beating in this coherence, you know, together. And when we have a heart connection with another person, we carry each other's hearts in our own hearts, right? So kind of a beautiful reminder of that. Great. So I'm actually going to be sitting up on both of my blocks. You can be sitting in Sukhasana, Virasana, on a chair, but you'll see my posture here in a sec. I'm going to sit up on both blocks. And just in a comfortable sort of seat. And then take your hands, interlace your hands, and bring your hands over your heart center. Just bring your hands over your heart center. So you can be sitting in any orientation that you like. Feels good. But as you rest your hands on your heart here, as you inhale, can you feel your chest, your heart space reaching to fill your hands? As you exhale, relax your shoulder tops away from your ears. So inhaling, filling the space in your behind, you know, in your hands there. And as you exhale, relaxing shoulders down. Relaxing any tension in your face. And maybe just bringing to mind all the hearts you carry in your heart. Now on your next exhale, turn the palms of your hands towards me, extend your arms out, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, take your gaze up towards your hands, You'll be in a cow-like shape. Exhale, press the hands forward, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, reach arms overhead, stretch long through your spine, come into the cow-like shape. So just the seated cat-cow for a few rounds. Don't worry if it's too much to look up at your hands, just keep the back of your neck long and look straight ahead. But feel that arching in the low back. So cat-cow here. Just a few more rounds of the cat-cow. The next time you exhale, just press and hold that. Pressing the palms, the palmar fascia away or towards the camera, and then you can release. Rest your hands on your lap or in your on your thighs, and just roll shoulders up, down, and back. Great. And then no matter what your position, you're going to bring your left foot in towards the center of your body and extend your right leg long. And inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, twist to the bent leg side. So right hand comes to the outside of your left leg, bending through your left arm. So you're at a 90 degrees and sweeping that elbow back. And then in this twist, just take a couple rounds of breath. You could explore opening even further in the left shoulder by bringing your hand behind your elbow in space. On your next inhale, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, twist yourself back towards center and reach your left hand over your ear, reaching over to the right side of your space. So now you're in a side bend, left to right, and take a few rounds of breath here. And then we're gonna vinyasa those two movements. So we'll inhale, twist to the left, arm comes into the 90 degrees, we sweep the elbow back, and then exhale, reach up and over. Inhale, twist to the left, bring the elbow back in space. Exhale, reach up and over. Take it slowly. And just, especially if it's morning time for you and you're just working the intercostals, opening up space in the rib basket. Next inhale, reaching back. And then this last exhale, just come fully around with arms in front of you and just take a counter twist to the other side. Back to center. And now switch the orientation of your legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Right arm, elbow bent. So you're in the 90 degrees. And then the elbow reaches back. Maybe the hand reaches behind the elbow in space. But just reach that elbow back. You'll feel an opening in the right shoulder. Take a few rounds of breath just right here. Great, then reach up the right arm up, 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 and exhale over to the left. So you're in a side bend right to left with your left hand on the outside of your bent right leg. And just take a couple rounds of breath here. Maybe the side is a little stickier. Just no judgment there. Okay, a few rounds of breath, and then we're gonna vinyasa the whole thing. So as you inhale, you spin, twist open to the right, bring the right elbow back in space. Exhale, come forward, reach over. So you're in a side bend. Inhale, twist to the right, bring the elbow, right elbow back in space. Exhale, you kind of come forward, square up to the front of your space and reach your right arm up and over. Let's do a couple more, just like that. On your own pace with your breath. Next inhale, reach, maybe you can reach a little further back with the arm. And then on the exhale, release the arms, come into a full counter twist in the opposite direction. Back to center. If you're sitting up like I am, bring both feet underneath you. If you're in Sukhasana, both legs equal. And then just round. Take a little bit of movement through your pelvic bowl. Sweeping your upper body around in a little circular movement. Both directions. Maybe the shoulders can move with this sort of stirring. You could move through your shoulders. There's no right or wrong here. It's just loosening up things. Great. And then we'll come down to the mat in to table. You can set your blocks up to the front of your mat for now. Come to table. Do a couple of rounds of cat-cow and table. Make sure your feet are lined up behind your knees as you move through these cat-cows. Okay. You will need a little space at the front of your mat. And then come to a neutral spine. So neutral spine, there's a little bit of lumbar curve, a little bit of forward tilt in the pelvis. Now inhale the left arm up and then reach that arm forward, come across your body and rest your left hand to the right side of your space and come down onto your right forearm. You should feel this in the outside of your armpit, your left armpit. Good. Next inhale, press into your right hand, sweep your left arm up. Exhale, reach it forward across your body. Palm comes to the floor in the right side of your space and come down onto your right forearm. We'll do it one more time. So press your right hand into the floor as you sweep your left arm up. And then exhale, reach forward as far as you can across your body, and then release down to your right forearm. Beautiful. Then just inhale, come back to all fours. Do 2 rounds of cat-cow. 2 rounds of cat-cow. Great. Then we inhale the right arm up. Exhale as we bring the right arm forward and across to the left side space of our mat and drop down onto your left forearm. Inhale, press into your left hand, sweep your right arm up, spinning to the right. And then as you exhale, you'll twist over to the left, reach the right arm forward as far as possible, then across your space and rest down on your left forearm. Let's go one more time. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. And exhale, reach that arm forward across your body, resting your hand over the left side of your space and resting on your left forearm. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Really big opening in the outer armpit area of the right side. Inhale, press into your left hand, bring both hands underneath, back to table. 2 rounds of cat-cow. 2 rounds of cat-cow. And then just from this position, just an easy movement back and forth. So you rock the hips back towards the heels, then forward, back towards the heels and forward. Just really should feel quite nice in your back. Just moving back and forth, rocking back and forth. Beautiful. Great. And then hands forward slightly, turn toes under, and reach your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Pedaling through your feet if you need to, just opening up back of the knees, and walk your feet up towards your hands. And you'll be in sort of a short downward dog stance here. So as you inhale, press yourself up so you come up on your tippy toes. And then as you exhale, reach your heels towards the floor, any amount. Inhale, come up on almost to the toe tips. And then release your heels back down to the floor. Inhale, press up onto your tippy toes. And exhale, release your heels down towards the floor. Just a couple more. Next time you release the heels down towards the floor, bend through your knees, slide your hands back to your feet. So you're kind of in a chair position with hands on the floor, and then turn palms forward. And as you stand up tall in Tadasana, reach your fingertips towards the floor. Reach your fingertips towards the floor. Good. And then you can relax your hands down to your sides. From this Tadasana shape, inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, just step the right foot back and open your arms and legs into a wide stance. And then inhale, sweep back to the starting position. Exhale, step your left foot back and open your arms out. Inhale, back to the starting position, arms up overhead. Exhale, step the right foot back, open up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Don't worry too much about any sort of alignment. You're just opening up. Some big movement in the hips and the shoulders and opening up. We'll meet in Tadasana. Reach the fingertips down towards the floor, palms forward, if that feels okay for you. Great, and then widen your stance a little bit, bend through your knees, drop your hips back, reach your hands forward in a Utkatasana shape. Great. And then hands to the floor, step or jump back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg out behind you. And on your exhale, bend through your knee, round forward, and bring the right foot between your hands. Drop down to your left knee and press up to 90-90. With this front foot, really drop that foot into the floor and isometrically slide it back towards the back end of your mat. Feel your hamstring engaged when you do that. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And on your exhale, just drop into your lunge, open your arms out wide. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, drop into your lunge, open your arms out wide. Keep shoulder blades moving down your back. Good. Inhale, press up. And now on your exhale, twist to the bent leg side. We call that a closed twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, twist to the other side, an open twist. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, set your hands down around your front foot. Turn your back toes under, lift your back leg. So high lunge. Keep your left hand where it is and inhale, sweep your right arm up. So you're doing a closed twist towards the bent leg side. Keep the back hamstring lifting, keep your strength here. Reach fingertips towards the ceiling, then exhale, hands down around the front foot. Start to straighten the front leg as your hips move back. You can release the front foot back to downward facing dog. Good. Swing the hips side to side. And then walk your feet up towards your hands. You're in that sort of halfway downward dog thing again. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, reach your heels down towards the floor. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, reach your heels down towards the floor. Inhale, press up. And exhale, press down. Good. This time, instead of going back to downward dog, keep walking your feet towards your hands. Deep bend in your knees as you come into Utkatasana. And then stand up, reach up with your body and reach your fingertips towards the floor. Release your hands to the sides. Regular Tadasana, just relax. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold through center. Take your hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, round through your back. Bring your knee up towards your chest and take your left foot to the front of your mat between your hands. Drop your right knee to the floor. And then come to the 90-90 position and find that engagement in the hamstring. Again, with the front foot, trying to isometrically pull that foot back. You can feel it. You should feel your hamstring engaged. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale as you draw forward in your lunge, open the arms out to a T. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, bring the arms out, come forward. Inhale, sweep up. On this exhale, you'll turn to the bent leg side in a closed twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, turn and open, an open twist. Good. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Turn the back toes under, lift the back leg. And then right hand stays on the floor as you inhale and sweep the left arm up. Beautiful, everyone. Exhale your hands down around your front foot. Draw your hips back so you can release the front leg and come back into downward facing dog. Very good. And then just that same rocking motion we did on the knees. Just coming forward slightly and backwards. Okay. And then shorten your downward dog stance. Nice wide feet, bend through your knees. Take your left hand to the outside of your right leg, straighten through that leg and just get a little twist to the right. Maybe you can look underneath your right armpit. Maybe you can get your head underneath your right armpit. And release that. Both hands down. Bend through the knees. Take right hand to the outside of the left leg, somewhere between the ankle and the thigh. And then straighten the left leg, twisting over to the left side of your space, looking underneath your left armpit. Then release, bring hands to the floor. Walk your feet back a little bit more, a little bit bigger downward dog. And then rock forward to high plank. Drop your knees to the floor. Arch your low back. Bring your chest down to the floor and then your chin. And then from there, you slide everything long in the mat. Take the hands into the little pillow with one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on that pillow. Pressing your pubic bone into the floor, press into your arms and lift and repeat somewhere between 8 and 12 times. Just take your own pace here. Lifting, pressing in this very, very mild back bend. A couple more. Next time you're lifted, your head and chest are lifted, release your hands and bring them to the outside of your low ribs. Press yourself up and rest your hips back onto your heels. All right, so hips to heels. And now just interlace your hands behind your back or take opposite wrist with opposite hand and then reach your arms off your back. Draw your shoulder blades down and in. For 3, 2, 1, and release that. You can come into a hug and a little twist. And another hug and a little twist. And then we'll come back to table. My mat keeps migrating here. Couple rounds of the cat-cow. Great, and then come to neutral spine. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, reach it forward across your space and drop down onto your left forearm. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Take your right hand back down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Reach it forward, cross your space, down to the right side of your space and onto your right forearm. Take a round of breath here. Inhale, press into your right hand, sweep your left arm up. Exhale, take your left hand to the floor, turn your toes under, press hips up and back, downward facing dog. Great, then walk your feet up towards your hands, bending through your knees, Utkatasana. Reaching the hands forward. Now open your arms like a big bird in flight and straighten through your legs as you press up to Tadasana with fingertips reaching down to the floor. Take your time, might get a little dizzy, and then release the intentional hand holding and just let your hands reach down to the floor, sort of in a restful way. Take a few rounds of breath here, and then set yourself up so that you're lined up with the long edge of your mat, Big wide stance. Big wide stance on the long edge of your mat. Great. We'll turn the left foot to line up with the outer edge of the long side of your mat and the right heel out, toes in. Yeah. And then on your inhale, bend through your front leg, sweep your front arm over and back so that you land in exalted warrior. And then on your exhale, come back forward, keep the length in your side body and touch down into Trikonasana with your back hand or your top hand on your hip. So we'll go back and forth with that a few times. Inhale, bend through the front leg, sweep the front arm back. Exhale, press hips back, drop into Trikonasana. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sweep that top arm back, that front arm back, and really get a lot of length through the side waist, which is part of our heart space container. Exhale, hips come back, land in Trikonasana. Let's do one more vinyasa here. And then make sure that you're connected to something on your leg, the thigh, the shin or the ankle or the foot in your Trikonasana. And bring your top hand to your shoulder. And with that elbow bent, start to just backstroke backstroke the elbow. Now keep engagement in your legs. And when you find that you can have a really open shoulder, front of your shoulder, right shoulder, stack your shoulders in Trikonasana. Keep the back of your neck long. You might be hand on shin, you might be hand on thigh. Just find your Trikonasana. Then you inhale, bend through the front leg, windmill your hands back, sort of through warrior two, straighten both legs, turn both feet to be parallel to one another and to the short edge of your mat. Keep that wide stance. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, let your hands come down, palms face forward, and you reach your fingertips towards the floor. Feel the work in your shoulders, in the clavicle, in the outer shoulders. As you do this, inhale, sweep your arms up. And now hands through heart center, fold. Hands come right underneath your chest. And then you're going to walk your hands out so that you're in a downward dog. Downward dog with the legs spread wide. All right, keep the engagement in your legs. So pull kneecaps up, draw kneecaps up towards hips, and then see if you can get that anterior tilt in your pelvis. So it's like you're trying to reach your sit bones up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to walk our hands further and bring our body over our hands. So we're in a wide stance plank, wide stance plank. Good, here we go. Press into your left hand. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. Exhale, take the right hand down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, back to the starting position. One more time on each side. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, back. You could be on your knees. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, come back. Then walk your hands back underneath your chest. Bend through your knees as you sweep your arms up. Come back up, arms up overhead, and then hands to heart center. Release your hands down towards the floor. Palms face me, fingertips reach to the floor. Beautiful. Then hands to hips, turn the right foot so that outer edge lines up with the outer edge of your mat. Left heel out. And as you inhale, you'll bend through the front leg and sweep the front arm up and back. Back hand can just rest on your thigh or your hip, exalted warrior. And then on your exhale, sweep that arm forward. Front leg comes straight, hips back, Trikonasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take your time, do a couple more. Just really feeling you have this openness in the side waist. And then you keep your openness in your chest as you land in your Trikonasana. Good. So next time you land in Trikonasana, make sure your front hand is connected to either your thigh, your shin, or your ankle. Doesn't matter where you are. Everyone, we do the same work no matter what the mechanics in our body is. Then bring your fingers to your shoulder, the top hand, it's backhand. Bring your fingers to your shoulder and backstroke with the elbow. Backstroke. Keep strong legs here. And then when you feel like you've got this openness in the front of the shoulder there, stack your arms in Trikonasana. For 3, 2, 1. Then we bend through the front legs, sweep the arms back through warrior two. Both feet go parallel to one another. You can reach the arms up overhead. And then relax the arms down to your sides and then pull fingertips towards the floor with your palms forward. You should feel some good work behind the shoulders, right at the sort of the outer shoulder blade area. Good. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, come through heart center and bend, fold. You can bend the knees to fold here. And then walk your hands forward so that you're in a downward dog with the legs spread wide. Get that forward tilt in your pelvis if possible. It may be that you bend the knees a bit for that. Great, then you keep coming, hinging forward and walking forward slightly until you're in a plank position, pressing through your heels. I'm up on my toes, I'm pressing through my heels. Good, press firmly into your left hand, sweep your right arm up. Maybe you can reach that arm back and then bring it back down to the floor. Press firmly through your right hand, sweep your left arm up. Maybe reach back with that hand. And then back to the floor. We'll just do one more repetition on each side. Core is engaged here, of course. You know this is good for you. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, set it back down. Walk your hands back underneath your chest, bending through your knees. Inhale, press up, reach up. Good work, everyone. Exhale, just let your hands come down in front of your body. Palms are forward. Reach your fingertips towards the floor. Reach your fingertips towards the floor. Great. Then from here, just heel toe the feet or jump the feet together, and then give yourself a little bounce. So bounce the heels, bounce the heels, bounce the heels. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do a little balancey opening. So you can start in the center of your mat. Bring the right foot forward, the left foot back. Right foot forward, left foot back, sort of a warrior one stance. And as you hinge forward, you bend through that front leg. As you hinge forward, just open up your arms. Maybe the back toe lifts, then you rest back onto the back foot. So you inhale and lift. Hinging forward on the inhale and opening the arms, and then setting your back foot back to the mat on the exhale. This could be where you stay, okay? You could just be doing the little hinge forward thing. If it feels okay and you feel like you've got some good balance today, hinge forward, press through the front leg and lift the back leg. Open the arms out wide. And keep that for a breath cycle here. We're not going to set that back foot down just yet. We're going to inhale and sweep the leg up so that we've got the leg lifted in sort of a right angle, 90 degrees in that front lifted leg. And take a nice inhale here, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, twist, bring right hand to the outside of the left leg. Other hand, left hand's on your hip, could stay there, or you could reach that arm back. Keep the standing leg strong by pulling the hip in. Really engage the glute of the standing leg. And then can you even open up a little bit more in the left shoulder by pointing your thumb behind you. To come out, we'll simply inhale the arms up, take both feet to the floor, and exhale, hands through heart center. Release your hands down to your sides, palms forward, fingertips towards the floor. Reach actively towards the floor with your fingertips. Great, everybody, great. So now we go to the other side. So we have the right foot back, left foot forward. And we're just going to hinge forward, open the arms. Perhaps you just stay on that back foot with the toe touching. Move back and forth. You can lift the back leg any amount as you move back and forth. Opening. Hello, world. Here I am. Here's my heart. My heart feels strong and protected, but I'm open. The next time you hinge forward, maybe you lift the back leg. Any amount is fine. Arms stay open. Heart is open. You're reaching forward. You got this strength in your back body, the shoulder blades pulling in and down. And then inhale to reach the back leg, the extended leg up into a 90-degree angle. Whew, side's a little tippier for me. Hands on hips. And then left hand to the outside of the right leg into a twist. Maybe extending the right arm long. Keep pulling the left glute in. Really engaging left glute for your stability here. To come out, we simply inhale the arms up, set both feet down. Exhale, release hands through heart center. With the palms facing forward in your Tadasana, reach your fingertips down towards the floor. Reach your fingertips down towards the floor. Take a couple rounds of breath. Couple rounds of breath. And then from here, inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, bend through your knees, come through Utkatasana. Reach the hands forward, palms up. Open up your arms to the side, this big offering. And then as you fold, as you exhale, you'll fold, bring hands to the floor, and bring feet back to downward facing dog. Great. Inhale, drop your knees to the floor into the table position and heels, hips back on heels. And now you're going to need your blocks. So take your blocks to the front of your mat. And my blocks are, you'll have to play with how much space you have between the blocks. Depends on your shoulder, width of your shoulders. My blocks are here. I'm going to stack my knees underneath my hips, and I'm going to bring my elbows to my blocks. So elbows to blocks, and hips are underneath knees. So there's a little bit of strength required here. I'm allowing my heart to reach down towards the floor, puppy pose. This is puppy pose with elbows on blocks. And maybe I just keep my hands in front of my head in the prayer position. Maybe I rest them back behind my head. Whatever works for you. It's quite a bit of strength. Draw the shoulder blades in towards one another. So you're spread, but you're drawing them in towards one another, if that makes sense. You're kind of, the shoulder blades are spread apart, but you're drawing them in. Allowing the heart to reach towards the floor for 3, 2, 1. Then forearms come to the blocks. Keep the front, your hands on the front of the blocks, so fingertips are kind of over the edge. And then come forward into a modification of upward facing dog. So you might have to adjust the blocks. I have to take mine a little bit wider. So here we are. You're on your knees. If you choose, you could come up onto your toes and reach your body forward. Reach forward. Chest reaching forward in this upward facing dog variation, but knees can be on the floor as well. Tops of the feet on the floor. And then slowly, 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 slowly press yourself back. Bring the blocks together, rest hand, the blocks will slide with you as you come into child's pose. Rest your hands on the blocks, hips on your heels if possible. And then you could play with turning your hands palms up. Turning your hands palms up. Ooh. Great, then inhale, just let your hands slide off your blocks, come back to your heels, hips on heels, sitting on your heels, and allow your shoulder blades to rest, relax down your back, shoulder tops are soft. Great. Then we'll take one block, and I'm going to take my block and I'm going to set it up in this orientation lined up with the short edge of my mat. And I'm going to take my towel or my blanket and just put it on top of there for a little padding. Okay. So we're coming into a little bit more of the yin part of the practice, a little bit more of the letting go, surrendering postures. So now I'm going to lay over this. I'm going to lay my side body over this setup. Make sure that you don't have any bunching up in there, because we want it to be nice and we want it to be pretty comfortable. So I'm going to lay my side body like right near my armpit. I got this streak of sunlight pointing right to it, right? My knees are bent and I have an open angle with my legs. Feet stacked, knee stacked. I can rest my head in my hand. All right. And I'm feeling for a sweet spot. It might be further near the armpit for you. Might be back a little ways back, but I'm feeling for an area where I might experience some stickiness. And we're going for a little fascial release right here. Just a little fascial release. Okay. So you can rest your head. Now, if you'd like to, you could also take the top leg in, do a quad stretch. If you're feeling really frisky and you wanted to do some hip work while we're laying here, you could do some hip work. You decide, it's up to you. You know, really reading maybe what your body needs, and if you want that extra movement, take that extra movement. But the focus here is on releasing the fascial network right around the ribs, upper rib basket, below the armpit. Great. Okay, then we'll let that go and we'll flip to the other side. The other side might feel quite a bit different, depending on your stronger hand that you use for most things. And again, if you'd like to work your hips, we've done this before, so you could work your hips here if you wanted to get a little strength work on the hips. You could open up the front of the leg while you're releasing some of the fascial system right there near the armpit, side body. And I guess you could also take your top arm up and over if you wanted to get a little more side body stretch. Just do what's calling to you. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath here. Release this now. Press yourself out. You could keep your blanket handy or your towel handy on your block. Just set it over to the side for a minute. come back to the table position. And then bring your hands forward and your hips back. So this is the puppy pose again without the blocks. Tense your fingers, reach your hips back towards your heels, and let your chest pulse towards the floor. So I'm just doing a little pulsing towards the floor. And then I'm going to slide my hands back towards my knees, come back to table. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And exhale, take my right hand to my sacrum, come down onto my left forearm, and then reach my right arm up. I'm in a twist. Then bring my right hand back to my sacrum, palm out, press into my left hand, right hand to the floor, 2 rounds of cat-cow. Just coming back, this returning to cat-cow just helps us neutralize the spine again. Great, then I'm going to inhale, reach my left arm up. Exhale, rest my left hand on my sacrum, come down into my right forearm, sorry. And then reach my left arm up. Bring my left hand back to my sacrum, press up, both hands to the floor, 2 rounds of cat-cow. And then bring your hands forward one more time, turn the toes under one more time, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high Dandasana. Then knees, get that arch in the back, chest, chin, come to the floor. Slide the arms back beside your body, rest your forehead on the floor. And here you could take 1 locust lift, bringing hands up towards the ceiling, reaching shoulders, head off the floor, reaching hands towards the ceiling, lift legs if you want to. Okay. And then you can release, and as you release, just slide one hand underneath, come to your back. Great, and so 2 options now for a more releasing or surrendering posture in the upper body, or in the sort of a back bend surrender. So I've got my towel still on my 1 block. That's going to go for my head. I'm going to come into the supported fish. So the block will go underneath my thoracic spine, 1 block, and I've got it. I'll show you here the position. The edge of the block is like lined up with the bottom edge of my shoulder blades. So when I come down into this position, I'm going to have my knees bent to start, kind of put that on the floor. I bring my thoracic spine, not your low back, your thoracic spine, your mid back, edge of your block lined up with the lower edge of your shoulder blades. And then this other block, you slide that right underneath the back of your skull. Okay, so this is pretty open, and it might be too much. If it's too much, you could go to a supported bridge, which I'll show in a sec. Most of you probably know how that goes with the block underneath the sacrum. But if this is okay, arms are out to the side. Now your legs can be bent, soles of the feet on the floor. Or if it feels okay, you can take your legs straight and point your toes. All right, so this is supported fish. Big open front of the heart. I've got some engagement in my core here. I'm not just flopping my heart open with no boundaries. Okay, so this is one option. Come out of this, you can grab the sides of the mat. You don't need to come out right now. I'm just going to show a supported bridge. So I grab the edge of my mat and I kind of lift my head up, release the block from underneath my back. If you're in the supported fish and you're happy there, stay there. If you want something different, we take the block in this orientation and press up with the hips and set the block right underneath the sacrum. Now I'm in the supported bridge pose, which is another front of the heart opening. And I'm going to settle here. This could be where you spend the rest of class. Your Shavasana could be in either one of these heart opening positions. If you're in the supported bridge, you could rest your knees together slightly. And then, can you really come into a place of surrender? Because we need both. We need a heart of courage and we need a heart of surrender. If neither one of those positions feels like it's what you want to do, just slip the blocks to the side and come down into Shavasana. Maybe taking a few windshield wipers before you take your legs long in Shavasana. At any time, if you want to move from those supported postures into Shavasana, do that. And then bring your attention to just your whole container, the heart space container, the front of the body, the back of the body, the sides. And feel into your own courage. Your own courage, your own vulnerability. If you know Brene Brown at all, she says that courage can't happen without vulnerability. So just rest your awareness in your heart area. Take a couple of long, slow inhales, followed by a long, slow exhale. Just really deepen your breath. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear, and whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true, and it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud, the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart I carry it in my heart. As you focus on your own heart, who are you carrying there? And do you have enough space for those around you that you don't know? Maybe even the whole world, all of humanity. Stay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you have any desire to come up to a seat, just take your time in doing that, rolling to one side first. I'll close us out with 3 ohms. As the ohms roll one to the other, I'll leave a little space at the end of the ohm, and perhaps you'll feel that as a vibration in your heart. If you choose to ohm along with me, really let yourself really feel that final vibration. Hands in front of the heart center if you're up to a seat. And we'll take a inhale here to ohm. If you're in a seat with hands together, you can just separate the index, middle, and ring finger. Leave the pinky and the thumb touching. This is the heart mantra, the lotus, receiving what you need to receive and giving out what you need to give. Namaste. Thank you for being here with me today.